What it do, Kaizoku Crew? It's your boy, Kaizoku Ice. In today's video, we're talking about a super secret special Pre-Errata Luffy card that has been going crazy. It's been doing numbers recently. I believe the card was about $20-ish last week even, and now lowest listed on eBay is $1,000. I don't know what's going on, guys, and I'm also low-key a little bit disappointed in myself for not knowing about this card because I consider myself a One Piece expert, but I guess I just suck. I don't know, but that's besides the point. Anyways, not financial advice. Don't listen to me, guys, ever again, but let us talk about Luffy cards, and in particular, how crazy the market for Luffy has been. When you see this post, kind of makes you scratch your head. It makes you rethink because I cannot believe that Luffy cards are up 92% since last year. That is crazy. That outperforms pretty much everything that you could put your money into. Stocks, crypto, we ain't getting that 92%. Only our boy, our savior, our passionate leader, Monkey D. Luffy, can do this for the crew. And that just makes me so happy because, as you guys know, I love One Piece. I'm very passionate about One Piece. So to see this right here just goes to show the people that truly love One Piece are winning. And that makes me extremely happy. But anyways, let's look at some of these crazy price increases. Last year, this super pre-release winner Luffy was going for $1,600, is now $6,000. That's about 4x in a year. That's crazy. Look at this Egghead serialized Luffy, $2,300 last year. $5,900 now. That's like what? Almost a 3x also? That's crazy. Let's look at the Pre-Errata Luffy leader, my personal favorite. We love the Pre-Errata cards. $275 last year to $5,000. Actually, I looked at recent sales for this card. This one was a probe scene auction. It ended at $8,000. So once again, guys, if you guys are familiar with probe scene, you don't really know exactly if this is a real bid or not. But there's also a purchase on PSA for $6,000 for this card. So actually, this $5,000 price point right here is actually probably a little bit higher, whether you call it $6,000 or $8,000. But this card is doing numbers. Pre-Errata to the moon. That's crazy. And then lastly, we've got the Gear 5 Luffy, about $3,000 all the way to $8,000. But let's focus real quick on this card right here, the Pre-Errata Luffy. I think people are focusing a lot more on the Pre-Errata cards because this is a card that has by far done the most amount of gains in the One Piece trading card game from 2022 all the way till now, almost 2026. The fact that at one point, just literally only less than 365 days ago, you could have bought this card for about $250, and now it is $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000. I think people are trying to replicate that magic. And I am all for it because I am a firm believer that pre-erratas are the way to go. When you see a blue bottom box going for about $5,000, and if you have the idea that potentially people are not going to be ripping their blue bottom boxes because they want to keep them sealed, because it definitely is more advantageous to keep a blue bottom box sealed, well then the population count for these cards right now is 554. I'm sure it's going to keep going up, but not by that much because there's definitely only going to be a limited supply of this card. That's my whole thesis behind pre-errata cards. I think that's why we've seen a crazy increase. So going back to the super secret special pre-errata Luffy leader, guys, my boy Paulbasaur. If you guys don't know Paul, he is an absolute legend. Shout out to you, Paul. If you guys aren't already following him, follow him on Instagram at Paulbasaur_, and then he also has a YouTube. I believe it's also just Paulbasaur. He is a legend. He calls himself the Pre-Errata Professor. I love that. Both himself and myself, I feel like we have a similar touch and a similar feel for the One Piece trading card game. We love those kind of like hidden secrets of pre-errata cards. So if he's the professor, I am his student because this guy is a beast. I'm just glazing Paul at this point, but let's keep glazing him. Pause. This guy is a beast, man. Look, he is an official, like literally an official live caster for One Piece tournaments. That is insane, guys. Like, look at this guy, man. He's a beast. Also, he also has a lot of good luck. He said that his wife pulled these two mangas on, I believe, OP13 release date. That just goes to show, guys, if you guys just genuinely love One Piece, you're gonna do well because the One Piece gods are gonna favor us. So, shout out Luffy, shout out Paul. Anyways, Paul sent me this clip that he made, and I was just baffled because I didn't even realize that this card existed. So, I'm gonna play it here real quick, and I'm gonna talk through it. So there were demo decks that released whenever the trading card game first started, and there have been a good amount of them, and they've been changed ever so slightly in between each version. The card that we're focusing on now is the demo alpha version. The main difference between this card and the other ones is that the map in the background is different. People usually associate pre-errata with the text update, and this card does have the pre-errata text, the set 1 of your supernova or straw hat type character cards, whereas the errata one says set up to 1. But the demo alpha one has a different map in the background. You guys, probably the screen is a little bit too small, but if you can see here in Paul's video, this one right here has a completely different map. And that's really cool to see, because that's something that only people that really looked at the card and really appreciated the card, not because it was a manga or an SP or anything in between. This is a basic common card with no holofoil. But if you actually paid attention to the details of the card and collected for the actual, love and passion of One Piece, you probably did extremely well, because this card right now, lowest listed, is for like 1,999. This one is 550, but I think it's the pre-errata version, not the demo pre-errata version. And then, yeah, 950, crazy. This one's 280, but I think this is, maybe this is the demo one. So maybe it's not exactly $1,000. I retract my statement there, but this card definitely was at one point going for less than $10, and now you see, potentially $300. But I will say this, guys. I have a secret source who shall not be named, and I'll pull up our DMs here. Shout out to you. I'm not gonna say your name because, once again, we keep things anonymous, but he basically told me he knows a buddy of his that was selling these decks, and you guys can see here, one actually did sell for $800, but this is the sale that is in question that he then DM'd me, and he was like, yo, Kaizoku Ice, I'm just letting you know, this card, actually, the buyer of the card never ever paid for the card. And you guys can just read the conversation here, but we are a little bit skeptical about this whole sale, and we are thinking potentially people are trying to buy out this card and then set a new floor price for this card. And now maybe potentially, because people are seeing this $800 sale, they're now posting their decks for $280, and people are thinking, look here, 81 viewed in the last 24 hours. There might be somebody that's like, oh wow, I need to buy this for $280. It is clearly a steal, because if you check on 130 point, it sold for $800. But as you guys can see in our conversations, that is something that we wanted to highlight to the Kaizoku crew, because a lot of these cards can definitely be easily manipulated. We know that for sure. Cough, cough. Gengar Nami. That's besides the point. But just be warned, because I really do like this card a lot. I think it's a really cool card to have in your collection. The fact that it is technically, this one is the first deck or demo deck and the first Luffy leader card. I don't love it because, there's no holofoil, but I do like what it stands for. It is the first Luffy leader, but, if I had to pay, I'm definitely not paying $1,000 for this card. I would rather buy so many more other cards, like, for example, this Lego Luffy, which, by the way, guys, I'm gonna mess up a little bit bigger. Friendly reminder, we are doing a giveaway for this Lego Luffy, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe right now if you aren't already subscribed. We're also giving away this card right here, so if you guys didn't watch my video, dang, that was a real shameless plug right there. Anyways, if you didn't watch my video on Monday, myself, I collabed with Julian of Black Tiger Sex Machine, and we are giving away a bunch of fun stuff, signed cards, Lego Luffy. So go ahead and watch that video, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Okay, I am done shilling myself. Anyways, going back to my point about this, guys, please do your own research, and if this card resonates with you, then maybe you do want to buy it at that $280 price point. But once again, guys, only buy the cards that actually genuinely you feel deep down inside that resonates with you. You don't have to listen to a guy like me or any other. Oh, I'm kind of lagging here. Why am I lagging? Hello? Test. Okay, guys, I don't really know what just happened here. I was lagging, but besides the point, guys, just any card that you see that just went up crazy in price, just make sure that you have a plan. If the card resonates with you, then yeah, you might want to buy it. But just always do your research. You don't have to wait for a guy like me or anyone else to talk about a card. Really, guys, at the end of the day, just buy the cards that you want. Look up their history, look at the significance, look at the art. And I think that's how you're going to be able to make better and more educated decisions on whether or not a card is good. Personally, my feel about this card, I'm not sure when I cut off earlier, but I guess I'll just repeat myself here. I think that this is really cool, and it has a place in the history of the One Piece trading card game, because technically this is the first Luffy out of all the Luffy cards out there. But I still would rather have a lot of the other pre-errata cards, namely the ones in Romance Dawn. I mean, we've talked so much about this pre-errata Luffy. I like this card for a lot of reasons. Of course, it is the first one that you could pull from Romance Dawn. But the fact that it is the Luffy from the cover art box of Romance Dawn, I feel like that is something that people are, kind of considering. Alpha alert. I feel like you guys should try and get the cards that are on the actual front of the box. Not financial advice. Anyways, guys, there's just so much opportunity out there, and I don't want the Kaizoku Crew to get burned trying to chase after the next big and shiny thing, because there's gonna be a lot more of those as we continue on, as we continue to have more eyes on the One Piece trading card game. I'm gonna do my best to kind of make sure that you guys know what I personally think is worth your money and what's not worth your money. Once again, not financial advice, but yeah, just the moral of the story is Luffy cards are going crazy. The One Piece market is going crazy, as you guys saw here at this post. 92% on just Luffy cards, but there are other cards out there that have probably done over 100%. Another one, for example, is the pre-errata Nami. I've talked about this card also when I talked about pre-errata cards. Most recent sale is $3,000 just tonight. That is crazy. That is crazy, and it's a similar thesis, a similar logic to the pre-errata Luffy, but this one is just Nami. There's two very big reasons why we really like this card, and it seems like this is a card that will also benefit from the pre-errata status, because we saw the Luffy going from 275 all the way to 5,000. This card, when I mentioned it in my first video, is about $700. Now it's going for about $2,500. Maybe $3,000, but there was also another recent sale on December 6th for $2,500. So it's kind of hard to kind of gauge exactly where this card's at, but I'll probably consider it around the $2,500 price point. But guys, long story short, do your own research, get your pre-errata cards if it actually resonates with you. Buy the cards that you just really want to have in your collection if it feels good to you, it feels right, and it fits in your budget. Once again, guys, you do not need to go crazy buying One Piece cards. I do realize that a lot of cards right now are extremely expensive. Actually, I'm gonna make myself a little bit bigger for this. I'm gonna end rant here, so if you guys don't want to listen, you guys can just end the video. But guys, remember, have a financial plan. We are talking about a lot of money here, thousands, and even just spending $100 on a card. I myself, guys, once again, I'm not a baller or anything. I don't got money like that. I'm an average dude, guys, above average in other places, but I have a very careful and curated plan when buying One Piece cards. I miss out on a majority of the cards even I myself talk about, because I just want to bring and highlight the cool cards that I think are extremely great. But I pay rent, bro. I got a budget. It's Christmas time. I gotta buy presents for Kaizoku Nice, my parents, everyone, right? So don't go overboard. It is okay to miss out on some of these cards. And honestly, for example, I really like this Secret Pre-Errata demo deck Luffy, but I am not gonna lose sleep, and I'm not gonna buy it at the prices that it's at right now, because it doesn't resonate with me in the way that other cards resonate with me. I'd rather buy 10 of this card right here than a pre-errata demo deck Luffy, because this one right here just resonates with me a little bit more, guys. So, guys, man, I'm a little bit parched right here. Quick water break. Professional swallower. Anyways, guys, that is the end of the video. Do your own research. Don't listen to me. I know nothing. This is not financial advice, but just be careful in the market. Don't get caught trying to chase. Am I lagging again? What is going on? Okay, I think that's, yeah, I'm clearly lagging. Okay, guys, I think that's cue for me to stop talking. I've rambled enough. That is the end of today's video. I hope y'all enjoyed. Stay cool, stay chill. I love the Kaizoku Crew so very much. Thank you for your support. Thank you for 6,000 subscribers, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.